Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 298 based on novel. So let's start. In this maze, there is such a strange atmosphere. Xiao Yan and Du Qifei slowly walked on a maze road, stopped and said, "I'm afraid there is something in here that makes me feel a tinge of dread in my reincarnation fluctuations." After a while, Du Qifei also stared at the strange aura dissipating in the void and said, "Be careful." Xiao Yang nodded, but his heart was still shocked. It can make Du Qifei feel fearful of the fluctuation of reincarnation. Is it a more powerful evil creature? The power of reincarnation fluctuations has not been fully reincarnated, so the general 4-star fighting immortal and 5-star fighting immortal powerhouse will also have this kind of situation. Duo Qifei explained, seeming to see through Xiao Yang's doubts at a glance. "Let's go, let's see what is in this maze." After a while, Xiao Yang and Du Qifei also walked towards the depths of the maze. Boom! The two walked slowly along the maze passage, but as they went deeper and deeper, the passage was still extremely calm, and no danger appeared. At that time, the sound of water droplets sounded at the corner of the passage. Water droplets! Xiao Yang heard this, stopped and walked slowly to the corner of the wall, staring at the water droplets dripping down from the top of the passage, wondering, why are there water droplets in this passage? And there is no danger at all. Could it be that we have gone the wrong way? Du Qifei was also puzzled by this and asked in confusion. It should be correct, let's go on. Xiao Yang kept looking at the pond below and the water droplets on the top, and then slowly opened his mouth. Judging from the depth of this pond, it was 3 feet deep. Obviously, the existence of these water droplets may have existed for a long time. After all, Xiao Yang still understands the truth of water droplets passing through stones. This should be the heavenly palace of fascinating souls. Xiao Yang vigilantly walked deeper with Du Qifei, and the Soul Eater said thoughtfully, "The heavenly palace of bewilderment." Xiao Yang said in surprise, because when he just entered the maze, Xiao Yang's mind collapsed and there was a slight palpitation. The way. The heavenly palace of fascinating souls, this is probably the first level of the ruins of the heavenly king's possession. I guess its purpose is to prevent the entry of foreign evil races. I remember that at the beginning, Tianwang Zhangzang used his own strength to forcefully entangle the Poison Temple Demon Empress for a while, and later, in cooperation with the Lord of the Soul Heavenly Plane and some powerful guys, he dispatched great means to destroy the Poison Temple. The Demon Empress seal is suppressed here. And in order to completely suppress the Poison Demon Empress and weaken the power of the evil tribes outside the realm, it finally evolved into a demon suppression prison to suppress endless evil creatures. But for this reason, the Tianwang Zhangzang also fell into darkness, so that its ruins and corpses trapped in the demon suppression prison. But fortunately at the last moment, Tianwang Zhangzang still used some means to leave his lifelong learning in the ruins, and even set up tests and formations. Those who are destined to inherit their own mantle are also to prevent the invasion of foreign evil clans. After all, I am in the suppression prison. Once the poisonous demon queen escapes, the consequences will be disastrous. The Lord of Soul Eater ignored Xiao Yang, said to himself. As for the origin of the fascinating Heaven Palace, it is said that it was a formation that was controlled by luck in the hands of Tianwang Zong. Once this formation was used, it turned thousands of miles of territory into a labyrinth formation, which could easily imprison many enemies, even in the formation. Hidden murderous intentions. When the caster's mind is moved, it can cut people into the invisible. It is a tyrannical formation that is worthy of the name of attack and defense, and this formation, at the beginning, also made great contributions to the illustrious name of Tianwang Zhangzang. Soul Eater the Lord opened his mouth. I see. It seems that this fascinating Heaven Palace is really weird. Xiao Yang agreed slowly. But I don't see any attack intentions in the Temple of the Soul. I am afraid that the guards are testing you. The Lord of Soul Eater whispered, but Xiao Yang didn't listen. After a while, he ignored his master and continued to walk with the two of them. In the end, they returned to the place where the two and the others had just separated. Obviously, no matter how the two moved, they were all spinning in place. There are no changes to the road left. It seems that this fascination Tiangong can only go out and cannot enter, which is quite strange. With a drop of blood. Any blood is fine. After a while, the Lord of Soul Eater also said. Crash. Xiao Yang heard the words, the ring in his hand suddenly wriggled, and a drop of bewitching monster blood appeared. With fire, burn it. Remember to use holy flame. I hope my guess is correct. The next moment, the Lord of Soul Eater opened his mouth. Bang bang bang. With the khaki-yellow holy flames emerging from Xiao Yang's body, he easily burned the blood of the demon beasts into nothingness, and suddenly a pungent aura of demon beasts slowly drifted out. Sure enough, it's Sheng Yang. Forget it, these two guys are cheap. At the same time, a strange figure in the depths of the fascination Tiangong let out a gloomy smile, so the palm was gently closed, and a strange power was present at that time. Abruptly walked towards the direction of Xiao Yang and the two of them. For a moment, before Xiao Yang could ask what this strange power was, the surrounding walls suddenly started to turn slowly under the gaze of the two of them. Under such squirming, the only way out of the labyrinth was slowly disappearing, and even several other passages were slowly disappearing, and the surrounding walls were still entangled in the middle. Seeing this, it was astonishing that they wanted to take Xiao Yang and the two of them together. The figure was crushed to pieces. Not good. Let's go. And looking at the suddenly wriggling wall, Xiao Yang didn't have time to ask the Soul Eater Lord, and immediately looked shocked, and directly pulled Du Chifei towards the only one in front of the two. He walked away through a passage, because Xiao Yang knew that the walls were covered with obscure and ancient lines. If they were so closed, it would be useless to even cast the Dragon God transformation. This level of power is obviously not their mere 3-star power. Do's Yan's initial strength can handle it. Bang bang bang. The wall squirmed, and the passage that had just left disappeared without a trace. Even in front of the two, only the only passage was exposed, but above this passage, it was completely different from the passage just now. The walls around the passage are quite sturdy, and the countless tiny lines make it extremely mysterious. Through this wall, I can vaguely see a light of dawn reflected not far away. There, will it be the end of the labyrinth? After a while, Xiao Yang slowly raised his head, and the holy flame in his body also burst out with a thrust, causing Xiao Yang to go towards the light mouth. Go and have a look. Seeing that there was no way out, Xiao Yang didn't hesitate, looked at Du Chifei, then walked gently and walked towards Guangko. Come in, two little fellows. And when the two moved towards the mouth of the light, the matter of getting closer and closer to the mouth of the light, a kind voice slowly came from behind the mouth of the light. There was a gentle smile in the sound that seemed to be kind, but the power hidden under this smile made Xiao Yang shudder. The strength of this mysterious voice is astonishingly surpassing the strength of the 4-star fighting fairy just now, even more than that. Who is it? Xiao Yang heard the words and immediately looked vigilant. A steady stream of soul power permeated out, covering the inside and outside of the two of them. Once there was any change, he would take action as soon as possible to ensure that the two could have a way out. Can go. The master of the Holy Flame and the Reincarnator, among the guys who entered the demon suppression prison this time, are really unexpectedly interesting. After a while, after the light mouth, a vicissitudes of life came from Zaidu. The voice was extremely vicissitudes of life, as if it contained monstrous divine power, which vaguely made Xiao Yang and the two dizzy. Let's go, this senior shouldn't have any malicious intentions. Duo Chifei's beautiful eyes flickered slightly. When this guy made a sound, the reincarnation pattern between his eyebrows exuded a hot breath. This kind of breath is not like it was like encountering an enemy, as if encountering an acquaintance, so Duo Chifei concluded that Lei Zhu should know the senior in front of him, and listening to his tone, it seemed that the relationship was not bad. With a sound, Xiao Yang and the two turned into a beam of light that poured straight into the mouth of the light. This is. Just when he came to the mouth of light, he suddenly discovered that there was another mystery here, an astonishing scene, which made Xiao Yang couldn't help but lose his voice. Because at this time, this place was a rather quiet bamboo forest. In the bamboo forest, lush bamboo forests emerged, which seemed quite lively, and deep in the bamboo forest, a simple hut came into sight of the two of them. Outside the hut, a stone table appeared. Beside the stone table, an old man lying on the seat swayed back and forth in a comfortable manner, but the corner of his mouth smiled slowly. It seems that this senior is the controller of the formation. Xiao Yang and the two were very far away from the old man. Suddenly Xiao Yang saw through some traces, and also opened the mouth and said, "This is the end of the heavenly palace of bewilderment." The old man clearly sensed the approach of the two, but he remained indifferent, still lying on the seat swinging back and forth, quite happily saying, "This is the formation diagram of the heavenly palace of fascinating souls." When Xiao Yang and the two stepped into the wooden house, Xiao Yang turned his gaze away from the surroundings, but when he saw the stone table, he was suddenly shocked. Because on the stone table, a dense number of standing stones emerged, and the stones were arranged in no order, but on the stone table, several rays of light emerged, and with Xiao Yang's soul power, he was shocked to realize that these powers were actually Yun Qi belonged to a few of them, and the stones that were erected, you don't need to think about it, You know, that is the essence of the labyrinth. Obviously, this stone table is clearly the formation diagram of the fascinating heavenly palace, which is the essence of the formation. If you want to crack the fascinating heavenly palace, you can only use great means to completely destroy the entire maze, but the attack of that level is probably the lowest. It needs the level of immortality, otherwise it can only be cracked by relying on the power of this stone table array. At this time, Xiao Yang had this stone table in front of him, which was enough to have a panoramic view of the fascinating heaven palace. Xiao Yang found that, except for himself and Duo Qifei, everyone else in the same group was trapped in the labyrinth, and even there are still some outside figures, but with a vague breath, it is impossible to tell who they are. Don't worry, they are not in any danger. The existence of the fascinating heavenly palace is designed to target the evil races outside the territory. If humans rush into it, they will just lose their way. When they are desperate and realize that they are lost, the passage to leave will also emerge. The old man said, still swaying back and forth. Xiao Yang heard the words, and then he and Du Qifei slowly walked over. Just as he approached the old man, Xiao Yang had a panoramic view of his appearance. The old man was dressed in a refined, Confucian robe, with white hair and a complacent smile, which set off his body very mysteriously. On his body, a rather mysterious breath lingered, but this breath it was exactly the same as the power in the fascinating heaven palace, which made Xiao Yang quite depressed. Don't know the name of the senior? At this time, Du Qifei's beautiful eyes turned slightly and said, I can't imagine that someone who is as talented and intelligent as Lei Zhu will end up in a reincarnation in the end. The battle between heaven and earth is really tragic that my generation can't imagine. Suddenly, the white-haired old man slowly got up, stared at Du and Qifei with narrowed eyes, and said with emotion. Being stared at so closely by the old man, the traces of hidden lines on Duo Qifei's eyebrows suddenly became bright, and traces of grey energy containing the fluctuation of death suddenly fell off, facing the old man directly. Attack away. Yo, you are still protecting the Lord like this. It seems that even if you enter the reincarnation, the essence of the Thunder Lord is still the same. With a wave of his hand, he stopped the grey thunder that contained the fluctuation of death. Suddenly the old man also got up, and then the two behind him walked around. Road. And your kid, at a young age, you can actually control the holy flame, it's really amazing. Being able to control the holy flame is enough to show that you are talented, but I don't know if this is a blessing or a curse. After all, the master of the holy flame is the first thorn in the eyes of the evil people outside the territory. Your road may not be peaceful in the future, and once the war between heaven and earth is over. Incoming attack, I'm afraid you, the masters of holy flames, will be the first targets to be wiped out by the evil clan. The old man suddenly turned his head to look at Xiao Yang, and said with deep meaning, This guy has good eyesight. Xiao Yang shook his head secretly. It was obvious that he had just cast Holy Flame, so it would be fine to be seen through, but Qifei didn't cast the reincarnation wave, and was actually seen through by this guy, which is enough to show the strength of this guy is extraordinary. Okay, don't guess. The formation that trapped you just now is called the Fascinating Heavenly Palace Array, and I am the guardian of the Fascinating Heavenly Palace, the Fascinating Old Ghost. Of course, you can also call me a spirit. The old man said slowly, with some pride in his voice. Array spirit. Xiao Yang couldn't help his pupils surging slightly when he heard the words. The formation of spirits, this is only in some extremely tyrannical formations, there is a chance to be born, and once there is the existence of the formations, the power of the entire formation will soar geometrically. Don't be suspicious, I was originally conceived and born in the Fascinating Heavenly Palace. After all, the Fascinating Heavenly Palace's formation has followed Lord Tianwangzong for many years, beheading countless foreign powerhouses, and thus under the pure purification of the formation, the adults fell. At this time, I was born slowly, so I promised the adults to guard here. One is to repay the kindness of the birth of the adults, and the other is to solve the evil things that entangle the adults. That thing. I am afraid that only the power of the Holy Flame or the Thunder Lord can deal with it. In an instant, the fascinated old ghost's expression became solemn. Senior, don't beat around the bush, or tell us, what danger did Lord Tianwangzong encounter? At the next moment, Xiao Yang also had a hint of doubt, and then slowly opened his mouth and said quite curiously, Hey, you guy, you are in a hurry. Seeing Xiao Yang's voice, the fascinated old ghost turned the corners of his eyes and smiled at Xiao Yang. Since I entered the ruins, the reincarnation fluctuations have faintly emitted a faint aura of fear. Obviously, there are some tyrannical evil things in this ruins. And relying on my intuition, I am afraid that this evil creature is related to the Qianwangzangzang. Du Chifei said, saying that the perfect eye also penetrated the endless void and went towards the depths of the ruins. The power of the Thunder Lord is really not something I can spy on. Unfortunately, I did not witness the true face of the Thunder Lord back then. It is said that she is still a beautiful woman. The fascinated old ghost said respectfully. But Qianwangzangzang knows. For some reason, Du Chifei said abruptly. Although I haven't seen Lord Lei Zhu, Lord Qianwangzangzang has fought with Lord Lei Zhu. Although Lord Qianwangzangzang is not as powerful as Lei Zhu, the relationship between the two must be good. The next moment, the fascinated old ghost smiled. Road. Senior, don't betray you, we should solve it as soon as possible, Du Chifei said after a while. This ruin is extremely dangerous, and inside there is a tomb left by Lord Qianwangzangzang. However, since the establishment of the ruins, the Lord will impose a strict death order, and no one shall enter his tomb. After a while, the eyes of the fascinated old ghost became deep, and he slowly looked at the endless void, revealing a hint of with a very respectful look, he said. The mausoleum. It seems that the Heavenly King's treasure may be entangled by the evil clan outside the realm. Although he didn't want to admit it, Xiao Yan still said helplessly. The strength of Qianwangzangzang is tyrannical, and the extraterritorial evil clan that can entangle him may also have the same strength as the sky. When the Lord fell, he once sealed himself in the depths of the ruins, and in the depths of the ruins, there was a mausoleum that the Lord had already prepared. Since then, no one has stepped into the mausoleum, but when the adult fell, the monstrous evil power on his body was like a demon, which puzzled me. The fascinated old ghost recalled. Could it be controlled by the evil race outside the territory? Du Chifei said. I don't think so. Lord Qianwangzangzang's strength is extraordinary, and he has many means of the seal of the Heavenly King in his hand. Even if it is a foreign evil clan, I am afraid it will not be easy to control him. Xiao Yang nodded slowly and said, Xiao Yang knew the evil of the foreign evil clan, but the evaluation of this Qianwangzangzang, who was praised by the Lord of Soul Eater, was quite high. Then he is. Suddenly, the fascinated old ghost looked at Xiao Yang curiously. After all, when the Heavenly King Zong fell, even he didn't know what happened, and Xiao Yang was pregnant with Holy Flame, so naturally I know more about the alien race than myself. Although the powers of the evil race from outside the territory are powerful, Lord Qianwangzangzang also has a great reputation in the ghost world. No matter who wants to control the other, it's probably not so easy for the two of them. So I guess Lord Qianwangzong is probably doing it on purpose, pulling himself and the foreign evil tribes into the tomb prepared in advance. The purpose is to seal and suppress. Therefore, he left his last words that he was not allowed to enter the mausoleum. The purpose was to completely obliterate the extraterritorial evil clan that entangled him with the passage of time. Xiao Yang's voice was like a bell, resounding in everyone's hearts. The extraterritorial evil race that once fought with Lord Qianwangzong was the Demon Queen of Poison Temple, but the Demon Queen of Poison Temple was suppressed at the core of the Demon Suppression Prison. If it wasn't for the Demon Queen of Poison Temple, what level of extraterritorial evil race would there be? Can you make Lord Qianwangzong do this? After all, the strength of this Heavenly King's collection is also very important. Du Chifei shook his head and said, obviously not believing what Xiao Yang said. According to the information I got from the Holy Flame, the Demon Empress of Poison Temple is a unique force of the evil tribes outside the realm. They are good at using poison. It is said that they can easily obliterate hundreds of cities by virtue of their evil spirits without using one soldier. Xiao Yang said. I know this, but what does this have to do with Qianwangzong? Du Chifei asked in confusion. The Demon Empress of the Poison Temple is one of the evil races from outside the realm, and her strength has reached the Emperor level, which is comparable to the powerhouse of our 6-star fighting immortals. As far as I know, there are 2 generals in the hands of the Jusha demon puppet. Although they are not as powerful as the Jusha Demon Empress, they are still at the level of a half-emperor, and their strength has reached the level of a 5-star fighting immortal. Xiao Yang said word by word. Little guy, what you said. But the Sky Poison Temple and Earth Poison Temple beside the Poison Demon Empress? After a while, the fascinated old ghost also remembered something and hurriedly said. Yes, it's the 2 of them. Xiao Yang nodded. But these 2 guys, weren't they suppressed by the Demon Empress of the Poison Temple together? How could it be possible? The fascinated old ghost obviously didn't believe it and shook his head. Senior fascinating soul, when Lord Qianwangzangzang fell, did you ever get seriously injured? Xiao Yang asked. In order to help the master of the plane to capture the demon empress of the poison temple, Lord Tianwangzong once suffered a fatal blow from the demon queen of the poison temple. Later, he was unable to heal, so he fell in remorse, and I am worried that the evil power in the Lord may be the poison left behind by the demon empress. The fascinated old ghost recalled. Heaven Poison Xiao and Earth Poison Xiao are allegiance to the demon empress of Poison Temple, so I speculate that the demon queen of Poison Temple has already hidden the Sky Poison Xiao in the body of Tianwangzong in secret for revenge. Although Zong is powerful, but after being seriously injured by the demon empress of Poison Temple, I am afraid that it will be at stake to deal with the strongest Sky Poison Temple under her. Xiao Yang explained. If this is the case, I'm afraid that the adults are in danger, and as Xiao Yang spoke, the fascinated old ghost finally couldn't sit still. Tianwangzong has made great contributions to the ghost world. So let them feel at ease as their subordinates. Senior, don't worry, we are here to help Lord Tianwangzong. Seeing that he had easily persuaded the fascinated old ghost, Xiao Yang immediately laughed. But where did these information come from Shenyang? From it was clearly what his master, the Lord of Soul Eater, told him. It's just that in the deep ruins at this time, Xiao Yang didn't get to the bottom of the relationship between the Lord of Soul Eater and Tianwangzong. Otherwise, how could the Lord of Soul Eater, a dignified Lord of Soul Eater domain, be so clear as for the details of the powerhouses in Li Soul domain? Among them, I am afraid there are some tricks. This guy. Looking at Xiao Yang's analysis, Du Chifei couldn't help but happily said, obviously this guy Xiao Yang can always be unexpected. Senior, it is the responsibility of our holy flame controllers to get rid of foreign evil races. But now we are weak, so in order for us to better protect the Dakian world, shouldn't Senior also show some sincerity? In this way, it will also enhance our strength, and we will be able to deal with extraterritorial evil races with half the effort. The next moment, Xiao Yang's mouth also slowly drew a smile, and said slowly, well, you kid, how dare you play with me? Hearing Xiao Yang's words, the fascinated old ghost couldn't help but stare at Xiao Yang slowly. His eyes suddenly became serious. Senior, how dare this junior play tricks on you? It's no child's play to get rid of the evil races outside the territory. Although I have the holy flame, Chi Fei also has the power of the reincarnation of the Thunder Lord, but the power of the two of us is extremely weak. And the extraterritorial evil clan that binds Lord Tianwangzong is Tiandusha, and Tiandusha is the most tyrannical warrior in the hands of the poisonous demon empress. Its strength is probably on the level of 5-star fighting immortals, even if it has Tianwangzong. The repression of the adults is no trivial matter, so this is a rather tricky guy. The strength of the two of us is only in the early stage of the 3-star fighting immortal. If we rashly face the 5-star fighting immortal, I am afraid that even if we use the power of Shenyang and Samsara, it will not help. Xiao Yang hurriedly hid his smile, slowly defended, and looked serious. Du and Chifei couldn't help laughing when she heard this, obviously amused by Xiao Yang's realistic expression. That's it. It's not bad luck or luck to meet you. And my existence is to protect the adults. If the bones of the adults are safe and sound, I will fulfill the responsibility of the courtier. It is okay to give the treasure in the ruins to the two of you. After all, now, I am afraid that only the two of you can help adults. The fascinated old ghost thought for a while, then shook his head. Senior can't enter the tomb of the ruins? Xiao Yang asked in surprise, and heard the meaning of the old ghost. My peers, I have some confidence in dealing with the sky poison break. There is an extremely tyrannical force of imprisonment in the mausoleum. The spirits of my district can only be limited to the fascination heaven, and cannot enter the mausoleum. Only humans can. The fascinated old ghost shook his head. So there are such secrets. Xiao Yang and the two muttered. As for the reward, what do you two need? Let's talk about it with me. The fascinated old ghost also made up his mind. After all, as long as he can help adults get out of trouble, it is reasonable to lose some treasures. After all, Tianwangzong has the grace of rebuilding himself. When this guy said this, Xiao Yang and Du Chifei were dumbfounded at that time. Obviously they didn't think about what they wanted for a while. After all, Xiao Yang now has everything in his body in order to prepare the materials to devour the undead fire. He only owes Dongfeng. Except for the refining of the elixir, everything else is fully prepared. After all, it's an elixir up to the 5th rank of the immortal rank. This fascinated old ghost is obviously not good. On the other hand, Du Chifei is also short of everything, so the question of the fascinated old ghost can make the two of them stumped. Magic weapon? The fascinated old ghost looked at Xiao Yang and the two, thinking they were embarrassed to speak, and immediately asked. No. Both of them shook their heads and said, obviously they had the weapon in their hands, and it was made by Du Tianhong, and its value would probably only be higher than the one hidden by the Heavenly King. Seeing that the two were not interested in the magic weapon, the fascinated old ghost was also slightly surprised. After all, the stronger the strength, the less room for improvement, and the improvement of the magic weapon is undoubtedly huge. An elixir. After a while, the fascinated old ghost asked with narrowed eyes. I don't know. Hearing this, Xiao Yang asked with some enthusiasm in his heart. Obviously, the word pill palace has an inexplicable and tyrannical attraction. Although my lord is not a pharmacist, he naturally likes to collect magical medicines, so when he fell, his treasures were also left in this ruins. Among the ruins, there is a place called Pill Hall. In the Pill Hall, a dazzling array of magical medicines are emerging one after another. Seeing that Xiao Yang and the two had a strong interest, the fascinated old ghost also pretended to be mysterious. Pill Hall. I don't know what the mystery is in that Pill Hall. Xiao Yang nodded, obviously aware of the mystery in the mouth of some fascinated old ghost, and immediately laughed. I think your soul strength is not weak. If I expected it to be good, you are probably still an alchemist. Is what I said right? Facing Xiao Yang's question, the fascinated old ghost did not answer directly, but changed the subject. Road. What is this guy doing? Seeing Xiao Yang and the fascinated old ghost like businessmen, Du Chifei couldn't help shaking his head. Senior has good eyesight. Xiao Yang was relieved. Naturally, there was no need to hide this kind of thing, because Xiao Yang used too much soul power from the beginning, and it was reasonable to be noticed by the fascinated old ghost. If you are a pharmacist, then something in the Pill Hall might be a chance for you. After a short while, the fascinated old ghost said with a solemn expression. In the Pill Hall, there is an immortal rank 5th grade medicinal pill young pill. Suddenly, before Xiao Yang could open his mouth to ask, the voice of the fascinated old ghost suddenly emerged. What? Immortal rank 5th grade medicine pill young pill? The voice of the fascinated old ghost just fell suddenly. Xiao Yang's pupils shrank tightly, and he lost his voice. The medicinal materials that Xiao Yang needed to devour the undying fire had been prepared, but his medicinal pill was even higher than the 5th rank of the immortal rank. Today's Xiao Yang was only the 4th rank of the immortal rank, so he was entangled by the refining medicinal pill. However, if he obtained a young pill of a 5th grade immortal rank medicinal pill, then the problems that plagued Xiao Yang would be self-defeating. Because the biggest effect of the rudimentary medicine pill is that it may allow Xiao Yang to inject the material of the immortal fire into it through special means, so as to refine the real immortal rank 5th grade pill, and make a perfect plan for the swallowing of the immortal fire in the future. How about it, little guy? Are you interested in this pill? After a while, looking at Xiao Yang's fiery gaze, the fascinated old ghost smiled. I hope Senior will let you know. Xiao Yang clenched his fists and laughed. This pill has already reached the 5th rank of the immortal rank. Although it is only a prototype, it has a lot of wisdom. If you encounter it, you need to be careful. After all, it was obtained by Lord Qianwangzangzang by chance. Even if it is Lord Qianwangzangzang, there is no way to take it, so it is preserved along with the mausoleum. But I have a hunch that it will be yours. As for the location of the alchemy hall, it is quite mysterious, and let me pass it on to you. The fascinated old ghost said with a wriggling corner of his mouth. After speaking, a dazzling light group poured into Xiao Yang's mind. Junior thanks Senior. Chi Fei, let's go. Xiao Yang thanked the fascinated old ghost, then called Chi Fei, ready to burst out towards the Dan Palace. Go. But don't forget to get rid of the evil and let the adults rest in peace. The fascinated old ghost can't leave the surroundings of the fascinated temple, so he can only say aloud. Junior, remember. With that, Xiao Yang took Chi Fei and the two towards the pill hall in the ruins. And as Xiao Yang and the others entered the ruins first, the people in the dead Silent Valley also struggled to fight against the Earth Spirit Blood General. Although it took a lot of time and effort, fortunately they also temporarily defeated the Earth Spirit Blood General and entered the among the remains. It's just that although he defeated the Earth Spirit Blood General, because of the extremely mysterious armor on his body, everyone did not completely obliterate this flirt. Since the ruins of the Heavenly King's treasure were just around the corner, Xiao Yang and the others entered it first, so it was only slightly set. The power of some seals suppressed the Spirit Blood Generals, so they rushed to the ruins without stopping. Hey, the Spirit Blood General here doesn't seem to have fallen. Above a valley, Xiao Gui's figure slowly emerged. I don't know why, just now Xiao Yang used the space shuttle handprint to bring everyone into the ruins of the Qianwangzangzang. Xiao Gui's body actually penetrated the power of space directly, and thus stayed in the dead silent valley. Even Xiao Yang and a few others, he didn't realize it for a while, as if Xiao Gui had a treasure capable of isolating the power of space. At this time, as many powerhouses joined forces to defeat the Earth Spirit Blood General and enter the ruins, Xiao Gui also discovered that the Earth Spirit Blood General, who was already dying, seemed to be doing something. Forget it, since Big Brother and the others have been in the ruins for a long time, let me see what the Spirit Blood will do here. And there seems to be an ethereal voice in my body talking, telling me to follow this place's Spirit Blood General. Is it an illusion? Xiao Gui hid his figure very well, and suddenly frowned. There was a trace of strange power in his body. Even he doesn't know what it is. At this time, it was quite quiet in the dead silent valley, but above the ground, the grey-faced Earth Spirit Blood looked gloomily around. With a sound, the remaining seal was easily shattered away. These humans. I didn't expect it to be so tyrannical. It seems that I have to find a way to tell the Demon Empress and prepare early. After saying that, the Earth Spirit Blood will hurriedly get up and try to go to the depths of the demon suppression prison. In an instant, a cloud of extremely dark black mist suddenly appeared beside the Earth Spirit Blood General, and the Earth Spirit Blood General immediately became vigilant. This dark aura was filled with monstrous evil, and it was faintly let out. His 4-star fighting immortals are all afraid. Hee, isn't this the Earth Spirit Blood General? How did you end up so embarrassed? After a while, in the black mist, it instantly turned into a black-robed figure, and said in a strange voice, "Who are you?" Wong buzzing. The black-robed figure didn't say much, but the strange black energy squirmed, like a demonic energy, and it was extremely gloomy. "I'm here this time to cooperate with you." After a while, the figure in black robe opened his mouth. Cooperate? Shameless human beings are also worthy to cooperate with our foreign evil race. After hearing the words of the Earth Spirit Blood General, the blue-faced fangs couldn't help but let out a hint of sarcasm. The dignified Spirit Blood General will also be disgraced by some 3-star Dozian perfection powerhouses. Really? The figure in black robe disapproved and said with a smile, "You're courting death." As soon as the voice fell, the spirit blood burst out of the body, and the sharp breath was like a swirl of shock, shooting away at the black-robed figure. The seemingly ferocious blow was easily avoided by the figure in the black robe, but the gloomy black energy in the sky made one's heart sink. Soul Palace? After a while, the Earth Spirit Blood General also regained some sanity and wondered. "I'm the 6th Soul Venerable of the Soul Palace, and I want to have a cooperation with him." At that time, the black-robed figure slowly opened his mouth and said, "Soul Hall 6 Soul Hall Venerable." Xiao Gui, who was hiding in the dark, couldn't help frowning when he heard the words. Xiao Yang told himself that the power of the Soul Palace is extremely mysterious. According to what I have learned so far, the 12 Soul Venerables and the 5 Soul Guards are the backbone of the Soul Palace. This guy, what does he want to do when he seeks the cooperation of the Earth Spirit Blood General? This guy's strength is a complete 3-star fighting immortal, and he should have some great means on his body. That kind of fierce aura is far from being comparable to a 3-star fighting immortal, and the strength of this Spirit Blood General is also a 4-star fighting immortal. If they join forces, I'm afraid. Xiao Gui shook his head secretly. Soul Palace 6 Soul Venerable. What is your so-called cooperation? After a while, the Earth Spirit Blood will speak. After all, although the Soul Palace does not belong to the Foreign Evil Clan, the Soul Palace is also doing the same as the Foreign Evil Clan. The difference is that one is in the dark and the other is in the light, so cooperation is not a must. Your strength should be in the middle stage of the 4-star Dozian. Although you have absorbed the fighting spirit of many strong people before, there is still a long way to go back to the peak. However, I can help you recover to the peak. Soul Palace 6 Soul Venerable said with a smile. What's the price? The Earth Spirit Blood General with green face and fangs also knows that there is no free lunch in the world, and the powerhouses of the Soul Palace are always cautious. There is no price, but among the 4 continents powerhouses who entered the trial this time, there are many powerful guys. I hope that after you obliterate or control them, you can give me the origin of the soul. Soul Hall 6 Soul Venerable said deal. After a short while, the Earth Spirit Blood General also agreed. If that's the case, let's gather at the Demon Suppression Prison Center first. It will take a lot of tricks to get you back to your peak. Lord Demon Empress, when I return to the peak, I will definitely go to the depths of the Demon Suppression Prison to rescue you. Seeing the disappearance of the 6 soul statues in the Soul Palace, The Earth Spirit Blood General also murmured, and there was a piety in his voice. I mean, the so-called Demon Empress of Poison Braces is of extraordinary significance to them. Hey, what an idiot. The 4 guys from the Hidden Soul Society have entered the ruins to prevent everyone from obtaining the ruins of the Qianwangzangzang, but just working with them is not enough to make this operation a success. Earth Spirit Blood General, although your strength is extraordinary, but you are brave and reckless. After I restore your strength to the peak, the Savior is eager to go to the depths of the Demon Suppression Prison to save the Poison Demon Queen, and then the 4 continents will be saved. The strong will also take action to intercept. The strength in the middle stage of the 4-star Dozian may also be enough to destroy some seals in the depths of the Demon Suppression Prison. By then, the power of the seal will be weakened. In addition to the existence of that thing in my hand, the Poison Temple Demon Empress, why won't you fall into me? In hand. The world only knows that the powerhouses of my soul palace collect soul power, but they don't know that it is only one part of our 1,000-year plan. As they left, the voices of the 6 souls of the soul palace were gloomy and evil, floating in the sky, but behind the 2 of them, Xiao Gui's figure slowly followed. As for Xiao Gui, there was also an extremely eerie black aura emerging, but within this black energy, it seemed to be extremely sacred, as if the Supreme Being had left behind, and the breath that passed through turned out to have caused countless evil auras to retreat one after another. This video will end here.